Welcome, welcome. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It's time to come together and meet a new soul on Viada's Tiny House Village. So let me welcome my village and we'll be right back. My guests will be joining me very shortly. All right, we're back. We're back. And thank you all for joining me on this special no September 11. A great number. 9/11 is a great number, even though people are mourning and remembering a crazy event that happened with the towers and all that BS. But we're here to bring some truth, some light, and some energy to this beautiful earth that we're dwelling on. And my guest tonight is having a reunion this weekend that is going to be so powerful that we want to make sure everyone is aware of it who lives in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And even if you're not there, maybe you should drive there and take part in this beautiful event that's happening. So my guest is here. So I'm going to open up her beautiful window here. Greetings, my sister. How are you?
Greetings. I'm thankful. How are you?
I'm great. It is just, I've been thinking about the synchronicity of our coming together from Chicago,
Yes.
which is which is going through a little turmoil right now.
Yes,
And
yes.
yet, I feel like, sister, that we are here to bring the love and light to that city because that's where you were born there, right?
I wasn't born there, but I was raised there.
Okay.
So, I don't even have a memory of my birthplace.
So
Yeah,
you
Chicago
went,
was
you
my
were, when did you show up in Chicago? At what age? Do you remember?
I was a newborn, maybe less than one.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
I was raised there.
Okay. So where were
Yeah.
you originally born?
I was born in Pittsburgh.
Oh my goodness. That's my first husband's birthplace. See,
Really?
these synchronicities are really strange coming in strong here.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see what else shows up. But my the person I was married to was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and it was Steeler country in our house for many years. I mean, he even had a pair of slippers with Steelers on them. So I feel like I'm part of Pittsburgh, and here you are part of Pittsburgh. And
Hmm.
then yet we had to go into a location of Chicago.
Right.
Hyde Park too. We both grew up in Hyde Park.
Yep.
Wow, and went to the same high school.
Went to the same high school, good old Kenwood Academy.
Broncos, Broncos, Broncos.
Broncos all day.
I saw a young man did a video because I'm connected to a Facebook group for Kenwood High School, And
Okay.
this guy did a video on, when people ask you what high school you went to, you got to say Broncos with some oomph in it, and then you become the Bronco. And he made this whole speech about what it means to be a Bronco. I'm like, okay, I kind of identify with that, but that is so cool.
It
So
meant a lot to him. Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me because I don't know a whole lot about the Sekhi reunion, and you are a Reiki master, I understand.
I am. Yes.
Okay. Why don't you just start off telling our audience, what your journey has been like from born birth to whatever the childhood. I always like to hear about my guest childhood and who were the people that influenced them
Mm.
to become a Reiki master or whatever you're doing today. So I'll let you take over.
Okay. So, as a child, my mother was a librarian for a period of time, and while she was, I had many visits to the library, and I read books, and it really just opened me to, the spiritual world, the magical realm, that the fact that there are other realms. So
Really? Really?
absolutely, yeah. I read all kind of mythology and just a variety of things as a young person in elementary school. So I was an advanced reader,
So you didn't
and
grow up in a Christian family, or did you?
I did not. My parents actually did not go to church.
Wow.
They would send me to church with my grandmother. When I visited her, I went to church. I had a babysitter who was a Jehovah Witness, and
A little
the so I
sprinkle of Christianity there, huh?
and I went to both, and I've heard both of them say, well, we have the right story, and if anybody who don't believe what we say is going to the hellfire and blah blah blah, and it just kind of really struck me as odd that both of these groups of people, thought that they were right. And then I said, well, if they both, either they're both right, they both wrong, somebody right, somebody wrong, but I know something is not adding up with that type of story.
Right.
And so I really wasn't, I couldn't just believe everything that they said, because I continued to find um, these ideas that did not match. And so I began, once I got older, to seek to find out, well, who was Jesus praying to before? You know what I'm saying? They had Christianity. What were they doing? There's people around before then. What were they doing? And that led me, to go further back to African history and all the way to Kemet, even. So, um, that's where I pretty much stay as far as spiritually. But I do have practice. I have the experience of practicing with many different spiritual systems, enough that I found that they really all teach the same thing. It really, whether you go to the church or the mosque, they still gonna tell you to live right, treat your neighbor like you want them to treat you, don't kill, don't steal, don't lie. That's what spirituality teaches us, morality.
Yeah.
So, it really helped me to open myself to be able to help others without having a judgment. Because, some religions will say, well, if you don't believe like us, we can't mess with you. And, I just feel like that has blocked us as a people. It has been a blockage to our families as well. And when we really have a higher consciousness about spirituality, we don't have to regulate somebody else's belief system, because that's really kind of personal. That's like, like, I really don't care who you sleeping with. Like, that's a personal thing. And so I don't really care about, who you're praying to, as long as you're praying. As long as you, have some type of belief system that teaches you to live right, then I think that, we could work together.
Absolutely, absolutely. It takes a spiritual mind, what I like to say, the mind of Christ, which is truth and
Yeah.
love. We could get all caught up in names, Jesus, Yeshua, Yahweh, all that, but the spirit of truth and love is universal.
That's right.
And that's what these days people are talking about. Well, Jesus is coming back soon. Jesus is coming back soon. And I'm always, he's already here. In the mind of spirit of truth and love is the spirit of Yeshua, Jesus. So
Mm,
that's where if we can get to that place, we can have a real healthy discussion and conversation about
yes.
the journey we're on. But if you're caught up in, well, you Jesus is your savior, you got to have Jesus, you got to have no, we let's just go beyond that name and talk about what is the spirit in you. I have some people in my life who talk about their religion, but they act like demons, if you know what I,
Mm, I
because
do. Oh.
they are they are against spiritual practices like yoga.
Mm,
It's like, okay, breathing and stretching. Let me just break it down to breathing and stretching. Now that's
right.
demonic. It's like, okay, all right, have a nice day. It's like I don't even argue anymore. I don't
Yeah.
have a discussion anymore about it because that's my lifestyle. I am a yogi, and my lifestyle ends and begins with stretching and deep breathing every
Yeah.
morning. Breathing, stretching, yoga, and then I get into different poses. What is your routine like in your life every day, as far as your relationship with what now is nature, really? What if we're evolving? To me, we've got to have a relationship with nature.
Absolutely.
What's your
Absolutely.
routine like?
Um, well, I'm a plant lover.
Mm,
So I have a plant room, and I don't even know how many, but it's a bunch
wow.
that I take care of and, grow.
Two, you
Um,
talking there?
I do talk to them, absolutely. Sometimes I sing if they catch me on a good day. I have plants outside as well, so I'm growing herbs and tomatoes and whatnot, things like that. That I do interact with on a regular basis because you got to keep up with your plants. And then also, I do some yoga, but I do a little Tai Chi, a little Qigong. I do some African dance, so my movement can look different every day. I definitely do have my practice of having my tonic or tea or herbs in the morning as well. Oil pulling is a big one, things like that, for the physical health. And then the affirmations and prayers, meditation for the spiritual health.
Now,
Mm.
how did you get into Reiki and the things you practice? How did that begin for you? Did you A lot of people have traumas in their life and sickness and disease, and then they transfer. How did your journey with holistic healing and health start?
Yeah, I actually am one of those ones who got sick when I was a teenager. I got really sick. I was in a lot of pain, and I just heard that I needed to put my hands where I was hurting and pray. And so I prayed. And at that time, I called on all the names of God that I knew. I had already been to the Islamic temple, so I called on Allah and God. I called the angels. I called all the powers to come and help heal me. And I fell asleep. And the next day when I woke up, I was feeling better. I didn't have any more pain. And, I remember just being like, well, that was good. I'm glad I could do that. I don't know how, but
Surprise!
okay, I'm going to take it. And
Surprise!
then years later, I saw a little brochure with a description about Reiki. And when I read it, I said, this sounds very much like what I did when I was younger. So I probably should go check on that. This was a time when I was super curious and open and, just allowing spirit to guide me more, just whatever. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna go check this out, and I did, and I ended up taking the class. And when I took my first Reiki class, my teacher said his spirit guides told him to attune me to level 1, 2, and 3 in the same weekend. And so he did give me those attunements, gave me some instructions on how to maintain and cultivate my energy. He was also a student of the Kemetic Sciences, Baba Heru up in New York. And so he also added some of those elements to his class. And I was on my way pretty much after that. I did do some work with Queen Afua, with Sacred Woman. I did also go through an initiation, a Khan initiation, and began working with the ancestral realm. And so it was just a really high spiritual time for me. And, my energy was high. And I began doing Reiki. It was right around 2001, and Black people were not doing Reiki at that time. We were afraid of it. We, ignorant to the fact of what it was. Now we had heard of laying on of hands in some areas, but even that was a little bit scary because those pastors that would do that from back in the day, they few and far in between. I remember growing up and seeing the laying on of hands. The tent would come in and the healings would happen. But I know that I don't think it still happens like that. So I would say that Reiki steps in, where that took off. And we add things. So we add sound healing, we add in this chanting prayers and instruments, the singing bowls and things like that. We use crystals in our practice. We use color therapy, aromatherapy, everything that's natural, because that is how our people used to heal before, when there was, um, you didn't have the hospital to go to. You had to go to the medicine woman. She was going to have a bag of herbs and maybe some other things for you to do and tell you to do this, do this, do this, maybe fast or drink these teas or whatever the case. And that's how we were healed. So, we pretty much work to restore that type of healing back to our communities and our families.
Oh, I love that you connect that to the church, how we grew up seeing hands in some churches. Mostly, I think for me, it was non-denominational churches were doing that.
Mm.
And I don't know about, definitely not Methodist church. I grew up in a Methodist church off of 49th, was it 48th and direct, not, it was near Drexel, Inglewood or something like that. So I Methodist church was kind of weird to me. It was really almost like Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the hands-on preachers were more, in my experience, were more the non-denominational. I mean, they were um, laying people out, touching them and laying people out on the
Yeah.
floor. And Benny Hinn, I don't know if remember Benny Hinn. He was around several years ago, but he did a lot of that hands touching and laying
Oh,
people out.
okay.
But I pulled up. Is this your website or
It is. Yes.
okay? So this is a very very educational website. Maybe you could just give us a little tour of it.
Oh,
Uh,
sure. Right now, you're looking at some of the Comedic Reiki classes. This is the classes page. So we do have classes coming up in Dallas and Baltimore. Um, and that will be for Kemetic Reiki level 1 and level 2. So the level 1 class focuses on self healing, and then the level 2 class is the practitioner certification class.
Now, do
So
you actually travel to these cities?
I did for many years. I
Oh,
traveled all over the country, all over the world teaching. But currently, I have some teachers that I trained that are teaching classes. So these particular classes are taught by one of our master teachers. She's an excellent teacher. I mean, and a beautiful spirit. Um, and so it's the next best thing to having me there. But I do facilitate retreats. So if you go click the retreat button, there you go. I will be facilitating these retreats. There's one coming up here in Florida in October. Got a few spaces left for that. And the retreats, we will be doing Comedic Reiki Level 1 and 2 classes, but they include rituals and ceremonies. So we do like a releasing ritual, we do an ancestral ceremony to elevate the ancestors. So you just get a lot more when you come to the retreats. You know, it's always a beautiful, life changing experience. I love the retreats. So we'll be going to Florida, and then we'll be in the North Georgia mountains in December. Then we're going on to Puerto Rico in February.
oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, and
So
we
this is the event coming up this weekend, right?
yes, this is the weekend of our Raseki reunion. So this is our fourth annual reunion. And we have a Kemet Gala. So the first night, September 12th, is dress up in your African best. We're going to have vegan food, dancing, some dinner. We have our awards presentation. So we honor the healer of the year, teacher of the year, and a couple others. We're going to honor some elders as well because we always like to give our elders their flowers while they're here. So
Hallelujah.
it's a weekend of health and wellness for our community. Um, so Saturday and Sunday we'll have speakers, marketplace, a wellness marketplace. There'll be people doing massages and other modalities. We'll have performers, and the Feast of Sekhmet is Saturday night. So that is our time to honor the Great Mother Sekhmet, and we'll be dancing, having more food, having more fun, family reunion. We come together, we're going to learn some things, we're going to work together. We got Dr. George Love coming, who is the Tai Chi master, Baba El Hagan coming from, Dr. Love coming from Florida, Baba El, who's an internationally known healer, is coming from Philly, Patah Asar's coming from Boston, Mumu Fresh, Grammy nominated artist coming from Baltimore area. So it's, a full lineup of
Yeah, wow.
teachers. It's going to be, everyone is better than the last. So I'm super excited to have everyone come, and we get a chance to do what we like to do, share with each other, build together, that type of thing.
Oh, let's see. I was gonna. Oh, are most of the participants vegetarian, or do you have like vegetarian meals?
We will have the vegan dinner at the Kemet Gala. I think most of our members are vegetarians or vegan, even. Um, but I'm not for sure. However, we're not serving meat at our event. So
Uh-huh.
the food trucks, they'll be serving vegan food. The meal that we're serving at the Kemet Gala on Friday evening is a vegan meal.
Okay, so you're doing quite a few teachings as well. Let's see here.
Yes.
Let's see. So all of these can be done online, right?
Right. So this is some online events that we have coming up that you're going through now. And then we also have online classes that are pre recorded. So if someone is in, like I see someone asking about coming to Chicago, I'm not sure when I'm coming to Chicago to teach, but if you want to do the classes, you can do the pre recorded classes, or you could come meet me in Puerto Rico or somewhere else for one of our retreats.
Yeah, this is fascinating. There's so many things going on. And then, okay, I'm book services. You can uh, few options support individuals and families. Okay, here are your services. Ancestral reading. What is that about?
So I am a medium to the ancestors. I get messages from my own as well as other people's ancestors. So the ancestor reading is messages that you need to hear. A lot of times it's things that you already have heard, but you don't pay attention to. But it's stuff that you need to pay attention to. So, primarily that's what comes up for the ancestral reading. The Know Thyself reading, we actually do the ancestral reading, plus we add your numerology report. So, based on your birthday, we could find out a lot of information about your character, traits, and things of that nature. And those things come up in the Know Thyself reading. I also do comedic name readings if you want to change your name and have a more traditional name. We do the oracle readings, which are more focused on health and wellness. So if you have some things that you need to focus on regarding your health, mental, spiritual, or physical health, it comes up for those readings. Also, I am a doula and I do Reiki in my doula sessions. So if someone's interested in having a Reiki doula, someone who can not just do the regular doula stuff, but add the energy element, then I have that consultation available as well.
That's for free, it says.
Yeah, the consultation, it's just a talk to see if we are able to match our schedules so that I can work with the mother to be.
Yeah, and then do you set if you have a woman come to you who just found out she's pregnant, you would give like a 30-minute free consultation, and then do you those women usually hire you to work with them for the whole 9 months?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a doula trainer on here a couple of weeks ago. She is just so fabulous, and she's very passionate about the history, having women learn the history of
Hmm.
non-doula services like hospitalization and all that. So
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to see that you're consulting and raising the vibration. It's like, women today seem to think the best birth control is Planned Parenthood. But
Right.
do you teach at all about the different birth control plans? That I even found out there's an app that will tell a woman when she's ovulating. Do you
Mm.
have those conversations with women about choosing to be more knowledgeable and conscious about, not Planned Parenthood, but birth control?
Actually, I don't. Not at this time. I did at one time do a lot of womb work, and so I did talk a lot more about those types of things. I just haven't done that for a while. It is, however, I'm finding, maybe you trying to give me a little message here, but it's something that is definitely needed because it seems like the young women are truly in need of some guidance.
Oh my goodness, yes.
That's
Yeah.
the way I could put that. They need some guidance.
Yeah, I have a 11-year-old granddaughter, and she just started her period. So I told her, let's get a little booklet and
Hmm.
let's start keeping a calendar.
Yeah,
Even now, I know it's early, but it's like, let's get the training started early because
that's right.
I think that's where women missed out is that in elementary school, there wasn't enough basic training about your body and what to expect, and then preparing for that time when you might become a mother. There's been a serious lack of training in my
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
true. That
So,
is true. And it was a disconnect. I know, I was just talking about this with my daughter, um, because she said I didn't talk to her enough about her body when she was younger. And I had to admit that, I didn't have many people talking to me about it either.
mhm.
So I'm glad, that at least now able to speak to her more openly. But it was a lot of information that was not shared with us. Like we really, didn't know a lot about our wombs and our bodies in the 80s or the 90s for that matter. I
True.
really didn't start learning more about my womb until, I got working with Queen Afua, and I would say that was in the 2000s. So it's just, it's a part of us healing as a people because we did go through the enslavement time. And I'm sure before that time, when we had rites of passages and the old mamas and aunties would pick up the teenagers when they were going through their puberty cycle and teach them, that's when it used to happen. But those things were stopped and ended and broken. Those lessons were not passed on, and so we just have to restore it. Like you said, you got the little booklets and stuff, and you talking to her, and that's where we are now. So we give
Yeah,
thanks.
we are definitely in a restoration phase
Yeah,
of this earth journey because all the confusion and hatred and division is this is to me it's the chaos before the calm, the transition from third dimension to fourth dimension,
right.
and the new paradigm is being developed and created in the cosmic order of things, so that so grateful to have someone like yourself doing all this work because it's so needed. We didn't have this when we were growing up, so I think that's why we have so much confusion in this younger generation.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious about the release ritual because we got a lot of past traumas that people are holding on to and heavy emotions. Right now, I have a man in my life who is basically in hospice because he has so much past trauma and heavy, heavy emotions that keep surfacing, keep surfing. So
Mm-hmm.
tell us about this release ritual. What are some of the things that happen in that? And then what kind of people do you have come to you, and then you find that this is what they need?
So the release ritual is for people who have had a lot of trauma. They are holding heavy emotions. They are unable to process and let go of stuff because oftentimes they don't know how. And so there is a special ritual that we do. It's a guided meditation that will help you to free your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit from past negative experiences. So we do the guided meditation. It does include some aura clearing, some sound therapy, and it is something that was given to me to share with our people because we have things to heal from that no one else has to heal from. We're healing from racism, from oppression, from, a number of other things that are stemming from the racism and oppression. And so we just tend to hold on to stuff and keep going. Like we never got lessons on how to process, our trauma or bad experiences. And so most of us, we act like it didn't happen. We try to forget about it because we got to go to work. We got to feed the kids. We got to whatever other things. We got so much to do. We can't even stop to process our own grief or trauma. So the release ritual is one that helps to release all of the things that people may be holding on to. And it just gives you an opportunity to feel that sense of rejuvenation and renewal.
I'm just going, oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Okay, so is this the posture that a person might be in when they're coming to let go of traumas and emotions?
Yeah, this is exactly the posture. And it may include cutting cords. Um, it gets really intense, because I allow people to cry. Sometimes people need to shout, um, and I just really guide you through that process of letting go, so that you can feel lighter. Everyone feels more free at the end of the ritual. It just, and even we say the affirmations, I am free, I am free, so that you can really accept and receive that freedom of releasing worries, doubts, fears, and other stuff. Our people have gone through some stuff. So, yeah.
What is this? Now, contact, is that in Hawaii? Do I see Hawaii?
Oh yeah, my webmaster lives in Hawaii, so she probably has her information on there.
Oh, but they don't have to. I wish they did have. We have to go to Hawaii to get this treatment.
No, my webmaster has her
Just,
information on there. I'm in Atlanta.
but that's just for the website. You're saying the
Right. She
contact.
must have put that on there by accident and just didn't realize it.
Okay, because I don't want to confuse anybody. But you, they have to. We'll give you your contact information
Okay.
uh, with as we go through this, because we're only at the. I'm just going through this because there's so much that people can take advantage of. Okay, where did I leave it? Okay, heal me package. A release ritual. Okay, what is a comedic Reiki session and body? Now, do you the body scan? Is that a machine or is that actually your hand scanning?
I do have a machine that does the scan.
Okay,
So it's a biometric machine, and it can read your energy that is coming from your voice, but also your vital signs. So the energy from your organs, your blood, muscles, bones, everything. It picks up the frequency and gives us an idea of where you may have some imbalances and such, so that we can balance them out.
that almost sounds like a med bed. Are you familiar with med beds?
I have heard of them, yes.
But yours is more of. Is it more of an AI process?
I wouldn't I wouldn't call it an AI process. It is an app, so it does use technology. Um, but it's a bless you.
Thank
It's a service that's been around for over 10 years, so it's a little bit different. I'm sure they do have some AI, type
you.
services that are similar, but the one that I use is just it's based more so off of the frequencies of the body.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Um, I had a guest on about a month ago. She's very much into AI technology, and on her computer, she has a program that will scan a person's energy and process and pick up what weaknesses they have
Hmm.
and then suggest not only music but therapies and affirmations, and so that's where we're going uh,
Yeah.
for medical intervention. And so many nurses and doctors, I don't know if you're aware, are being fired. So
No, I'm not. What is?
something's happening in the sick care system that they're preparing us for the artificial intelligence to take over
Mm,
in the sick care medical system, which I think it might do a better job for some people
right.
than it's been doing so far. Uh, they've lost dropped the ball. That's why RFK Jr. is having such a battle right now. I think because he's trying to transition us into a more healthy system,
Right.
and the big pharma and all the medical, even our Congress, who's getting money, getting paid from lobbyists, they don't want to change. So
Mm.
your Heal Me package. Okay, let's go into that one. Heal Me package. What's that for those who need personal coach? So that seems like a more involved. Let's go into that. Read more. More involved service.
Yeah, the Heal Me package is really for people who are ready to make a change in their lives and need to have a wellness coach to assist them with that. So, if you've been diagnosed with something, you have some weight loss goals, you have some mental health goals, whatever the case may be, with the Heal Me package, I will work with you, speak to you weekly or, twice a month, what works best or, what is needed. We'll set up a personal plan for you to reach your goals, to get the healing that you desire, and so on and so forth.
Do you have many women coming to you with breast cancer, or have you talked to many women with breast cancer?
I have definitely worked with, I won't say many, but I've had definitely some clients that have been battling. And I've helped to put some cancers into remission through the years as well. So I do work with that different in different areas, I'll say.
What in your experience with working with those women, what have you seen as some of the biggest challenges they have to heal or get balance?
To be honest with you, is people's eating habits for the most part, because there are certain foods that are just toxic. And I'll just say, for example, chicken wings. But people love to eat them chicken wings, but they really,
Yes, indeed.
know,
Pies and all the rest. Yep.
it's really not something that we should eat. I would say more than once a week, like, seriously. But we don't really understand how to eat to live. And so that's a big thing. And then also, I would say entrusting your life with someone that you don't know and doesn't know you is also a big issue, because we do have problems where women go to Western medicine and they're not heard. They're complaining about things and they're being brushed under the rug. And so that is a problem, in our system. Whereas, black women were used as science experiments in the past. And so that type of mindset is still prevalent in a lot of areas. And so that's a problem, because if you're having some issues, you go for some help and they don't even address what you're going for. They just say, okay, I'm going to just write you a prescription. That's a problem. And it leads to other problems. And so I feel like, we as women just need to know more about health. We need to know more about herbs. We need to know more about what we can do to keep ourselves healthy and prevent disease, and what we should and should not be eating. Because a lot of these diseases are coming from the fake food, the plastic in the food, the fast food, the GMO food, those types of things. And then I must also mention the toxins that are in the wigs, the weaves, the fake nails, the fake booties. We have been programmed to poison ourselves, and that's a problem. So I would say those are my top three. What we're
Absolutely.
eating, what we're, putting on ourselves, and then the fact that, we don't even have our own hospitals to go to.
Yeah, and I am surprised that in 2025 that women are still trusting oncologists to help them overcome a cancer diagnosis. When
Right.
I go on these Facebook pages, sometimes I just read them and keep going. I don't comment, and then sometimes I'm led to send them to a website that I use, German New Medicine, to help them get to the root of the problem, because I had a woman early this year who someone referred to me, And she had had both breasts removed, and the cancer came back.
Mm.
So I was like, wow, this is going to be challenging. So and she was living in Texas and I'm in Orlando. I learned so much about that woman's emotional conflict traumas through her life from childhood on.
Mm-hmm.
And so she passed, I think it's maybe about a month or after I met her. I did some tapping with her long distance, but then it was like I had to call in reinforcements. Okay, somebody go down there and help her, please hold her hand. And
Yeah,
it was just a matter of so much ignorance. My people perish for lack of knowledge. It
absolutely.
kept coming to me for this woman, especially. And sometimes you just don't have the time to help them overcome that ignorance. You
Right.
just have to hold their hand and say, I understand. That's
Yeah.
sometimes that's all we can do is say, I understand. Because the programming, like you said, is so deep.
Right.
It just blows my mind. Women come on these Facebook pages ready to go bald, ready to have the stunt pit, the setup in their chest to take the drugs, to take the poison. They don't even think twice. And then they come on these pages asking, well, what are you people, what are you all doing? And then you got 400 people giving advice
Mm-hmm.
to thoroughly confuse them because everybody's had their own journey and yet they still think the oncologist is going to help them. And so it's mind blowing to me, but I'm learning a lot and I just share what I know and then keep moving. But
Yes.
we're not the savior. We come knowing we in this line of work that we're doing, we're not the savior, but we sure can bring some knowledge and experience and education. And for those who are willing, come on in, let's talk. So thank you for all this beautiful work that you're doing. And let's see, I miss health, spiritual consultation. So it's all holistic, right?
Yes.
Mentorship consultation, naming ceremony consultation, marriage consult. Oh boy, that 45 minutes. Okay, shorten that one, huh?
Yes.
Bringing harmony to your family. So there's like nothing someone can't get from this website and from your experience in your teach 7 day prayer ritual. Now, what's that like?
That one is definitely for people who may stuck in the mud, feeling depressed, low frequency, low vibration, feeling spiritually disconnected. The 7 day prayer ritual, we will set a time to meet and we'll get on the phone and pray together. I pray with you, you pray with me, and we do that for 7 days. And usually people have a breakthrough of some sort after doing that 7 day ritual.
Now,
So
is it a daily coming to you with what's happening in
it's
their
over the phone and it
yeah.
is daily and it only lasts about 15 minutes.
And are
Um,
they presenting you with the daily challenges they're having, or is it there usually one issue that they're working on?
they do have an opportunity to let me know if there are specific things that they want to focus on. So, whatever it is that they need, those prayers directed to, that's what we do.
Yeah. Oh, right. That is just so full. So that website again, everyone is Rasiki Arts Temple. Is that right?
It's RasekiHealing.com. RasekiHealing.com. The name of our organization is Raseki Arts Temple. And I'm seeing a question about speaking my thoughts on the social media potential.
Yeah. Let me
Have,
put that. I'm gonna put the name of the website up, and then let me bring in some questions.
okay.
Because we've got a few people commenting. Let's see. Let me bring that one in. Please speak on your thoughts on the social media potential for toxic impact on people's, what is that, marital well-being? Wow,
Mental
that's
well being
mental well-being.
with the
That's a
mind.
deep one. And that's Basu Nefert Ra. That's hard. Do you know this person?
I believe I do.
Okay, well, thank you, Basu. I'm gonna just say Basu. Thank you, Basu, for that very profound question. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, I would say the social media effect has been, we don't even know all the effects that it's going to have, but it definitely has had a negative impact on our mindsets because of a few reasons. First of all, it's given us um, too much information. It's too much information that comes at us at a time. And it has caused a lot of people to be overwhelmed because now, whereas 20 years ago, before internet and social media, we had our friends, we had our families, that was our world. Now with social media, we have our friends and families, but we also have friends and families online who could be anywhere. And so it's opened the energy um, up in a way that it can be overwhelming, especially for young people who don't know how to manage their emotions, their time, or their energy. And so that is one of the big things. And then also the display of people's lives have created a range of emotions. So everything from someone posting a picture that makes someone angry and then they want to go and, do something, or someone shows a picture and makes someone jealous. So it's a very emotional realm for people. It definitely affects our emotions, which affects our minds. Because if we're angry or if we're afraid or, whatever those emotions may be, it's going to affect the way we're thinking. You know what I mean? And that's going to affect our decision making. That's going to affect our bodies. It has a trickling effect. So the social media is definitely because they won't stop. Like they just keep adding more. All the I'll use the example of Facebook. In the beginning, it was very simple, basic. We had our friends and followers. Then they created these groups, and once they did that, there was even more people. Now you not just have your friends and followers. Now you got groups. Now they got. I remember looking, and I had been added to like 100 and some odd groups at one time. I can't. That's. I don't even try. I can't.
Too
I don't
much.
have the time space. So it's it doesn't stop. It just continues to expand, and so it's like more and more, and it really does have an impact on our time, the time we spend with ourselves, the time that we're spending spiritually, all of those things. Because everybody wants to be on social media now. We got to see what they wearing, what they doing, what they saying.
And I think the worst part of Facebook right now is the advertising. I
And
am
then the ads. Yeah.
frustrated about all the ads that pop up. And it's I tell you what's going on. They're reading our minds.
Mm.
There have been several people told me that, and I've experienced this myself, where I was having a conversation like at my son's house. He's across the yard. And then I come over here and an ad pops up on what we were talking about. Like he and his girlfriend were going to London and they were looking for Airbnbs and they were talking about it. We were talking. I come over here and an ad for Airbnb shows up on my Facebook page. It's like,
Mm.
whoa, this is getting scary, really scary.
Yeah.
And another woman was saying that she was thinking about something and something popped up on what she had thought about but that she didn't want to say to someone.
Mm.
So, knowing this, we have to uh, detach from social media throughout the day
Right.
and turn off the gadgets. The phone, put the phones down, turn the stop carrying the phone everywhere you go. People think I go for a walk and somebody called me and said, "Where have you been?" But I don't take my phone on a walk. Sorry, I'm not afraid of dropping dead or something or getting sick. No, I didn't have my phone. I couldn't. Nobody. No, I have plenty of protection.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the attitude. We have to have more connection with nature than our gadgets and social media.
Yeah.
I do every Sunday. I do soul purpose healing on this channel, and when I started this soul purpose healing, just struggling with that name, the Most High just kept showing me this is what people are needing to absolutely tap into. Why are you here? What's your soul purpose here? And then we need to talk about him. So for the last 11 years or more, is soul purpose healing meant to help people realize, why am I here? And then maybe when you're on social media, keep tuning into, what is my intention? What is my higher intention for being on social media? Not to show my new earrings or my new hairstyle or
Right.
buy some, because every time you go on social media, you're going to get an ad saying, you need this product. You
Yes.
need this product. I have gotten in more trouble seeing an ad like, oh, I do need some new cotton underwear. Let me see, what can I buy? Or cotton leotards or whatever. That's the danger to me. The negative is paying too much attention to consumerism pull, that you
Mm-hmm.
need to go into debt for more things, and you need to have more contact with more people. No, you need to go outside and talk to the birds and the bees. And
Right.
that's where the peace comes, right? Is if
That's
you're depressed or sad or upset about anything, go into nature and talk. Hug a tree. We've been big tree huggers
yes.
on the village here. Big, big tree huggers. I have had more pain leave my body by just going for a walk and hugging every tree that I see, touching
Mm-hmm.
every tree that I see.
Yes. Yes.
Big, big, big promotion for me now is tree hugging. So I
Good.
don't know how you feel about that, but that
Oh,
has
I'm a
become.
tree hugger. I'm with you. I'm right there
Yay!
with you.
Yay! Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed.
Mm.
Okay, let's see what else do we have here. Yes, Mutt knows me indeed. Basu, Mutt. He says calling you Mutt.
It's moot. It's moot.
Oh, Moot.
Yeah,
Okay, Moot. Thank you.
it's
Kwame
okay.
Sunhorse is in the house. He's our elder in Georgia. And he says stolen focus. I realize with my contacts on. I need, but you can read that probably. Stolen focus, race after technology, and scary smart. These books helps us to know. Okay, and he says use the wood wide web.
Wood
Amen. I
Wide
say
Web.
free, use the wood. And so to me the negative of social media is that we are just not in tune with our purpose on this earth. So we think we have to get verified, or just feel important on social media.
Yeah,
And it's time for us to withdraw and spend less time on that.
right. Absolutely.
So give us your I have the Facebook, no, I have the website name on here in the comments. Is that right? I think I got it right.
That is correct. And you did not ever get to my shop on this website. I have authored 12 books as well. So
Oh, okay.
I have books about Kemetic Reiki. I have a prayer book, African prayer book, a recipe book, and a couple books about chakras. I have a couple of children's books and a deck of oracle cards as well.
Where is that, under book services?
It should be a sign, maybe it says shop or store.
Let me put that back up again. Let's
If you
see.
look in the menu.
Oh, shop. Okay, shop.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, wow. Beautiful art here.
Yeah, those
Oh,
are
these are okay. That's a phone case.
phone cases,
Oh, nice.
notebooks.
Inspired phone case. Phone case. Wow, beautiful. Scholars create. Oh, and oh, t-shirts, cotton tee. Okay,
Hmm.
that's good. You got any V-necks on there? I love V-necks. Okay. Scented soy candle. Okay. Wow, lots of good stuff on here. Coloring book too.
Yeah,
Wow.
my daughter illustrated the coloring book.
What your daughter did
My
this?
daughter,
Wow, she's how old is she?
she's 20.
She's very talented. I should have to show that to my granddaughter. My granddaughter is an artist too, and
Okay.
she can do. I hope one day she'll be doing art, beautiful art like that. She does a lot of animated stuff right now.
Hmm.
Okay, so okay. Healing circle. What is this?
Those are the oracle cards.
Oh,
That,
oracle cards. Okay, great.
hmm
7 puzzle. It's actually a puzzle. How many pieces?
I think you could choose between 200 or 500 pieces.
Really? Let me
I
go on.
believe so.
I'm really big on puzzles, doing puzzles. My grandchildren and I did a puzzle together, but oh, this one's 30
That's
pieces.
that's the children's puzzle.
Oh, okay.
But I think there are other options if you click the thing.
30
Or
pieces.
maybe not for this one. Maybe it's the other one.
Okay, next. Okay, great one of heaven greeting card. Okay, greeting cards. Okay. Wow, so many things to choose from here. This is great. So, yeah, please explore the website and see what you need. Most beautiful puzzle. I like that idea though. My grand 30 pieces, they need about 100. We do group family puzzles.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so 200, we need 100 to 200. It might take us a week cuz my grandchildren are not that excited. But we're okay. Did I go past the books? Where are your books?
Click the load more. Look down
Oh,
at the bottom.
okay.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, you've been busy.
Hmm. I
And
did my best. Yep.
okay, down here.
Yeah.
Okay. I am mind, body, and spirit. That seems like one I need for the That's for children.
Yeah, those are the children's books. Hmm.
And your daughter did the artwork too?
Oh no, not for those. Mm.
Okay, light as a feather. Beautiful work here. Wow, how
Thank
long
you.
have you been writing?
I published my first book in 2012.
Okay, and you doing what, like a one a year or something?
I was on the road for a minute there. So yeah, it was about that.
I like this healing, revitalize your chakras, the healing workbook.
Yeah, that one is really powerful. My most recent book.
Segment and my candle. Yeah, golden. All right, everybody. We need to visit this website for some. Hey, it's almost Christmas time for those of you who need gifts. But
Yeah,
even
that's right.
just for spiritual, holistic, healing, energetic purposes. What is that? Equinox detox. 10 days of. Is that a book?
That is, we do group detox.
Oh, okay.
So that's for the group detox.
Salad, cheese, smoothie to cleanse and restores our bodies. Awesome. Okay, 12. Oh, 12 book. 42 laws of Ma'at for children. You know, my grandson hates to read. My son has to is trying to bribe him with getting tickets to play video games, and he just hates to read. There is something spiritual going on with this child because he thinks he was my grandfather in a past life or something.
Oh,
So, what would you suggest for a child who hates to read?
um, take them to the library.
Written
Read,
down,
read to them.
yeah,
Um, how old is he?
9.
Yeah, you can still read to him, and like, I read this page, you read that page, it is something that we pass down. So, in the same way we pass down our eating habits, we pass down our reading habits as well. So, if we as parents don't read, it's hard to get the children to read. They have to see us sit down with books, they have to see us buy books, they have to see us have a bookshelf to want to read because otherwise they won't see the value in it. So, that's what I would say. When my children were young, I read to them every single day. I took them to the library and just really tried to encourage them to read because no matter how many computers we have, if you don't have some of that knowledge in your own mind, um, it doesn't mean much. So,
Exactly. And the one thing you said, continue to read to them. I saw my son, this battle he's having with him. He doesn't want to read, doesn't want to read. My son actually got in bed with him and he read to him.
right.
I felt it seemed like the energy shifted a little when that happened.
Hmm.
And he might have to read to him for a while, but that to me is going to be maybe the shift to get him more interest. I read to my two sons every night for a long time when
Yeah.
they were young.
That's how we did it back in the day. We didn't have TV shows for them to watch to put in bed.
Well, my oldest son loves to read. When he went through his divorce, he went to therapy for a whole year, and he read every self-help book you could think of. He could find. My
Mhm.
youngest son, he hated reading, and he got into comic books. He's a Marvel fanatic now.
Okay.
He had all these Marvel comic books stacked up, but at least he was reading. So my son
Yes.
didn't want his children to have the comic books. He wanted to have a book with no pictures. I'm like, you just do whatever works. That's the thing.
You might have to start with the pictures and
Yeah,
then, move up to the no picture books.
and I think just reading in bed is going to have to be the thing now. So
Yeah.
we've got Basu saying, indeed, in my perspective, social media is a severe distraction from our spiritual gifts and connection to nature as well as all realms. Absolutely. Is that a brother or sister? I think it's a
That's a
brother.
sister.
Sister. Absolutely, sister. It is a serious distraction. But just like AI, we can, if we have the right guidance with our youth, especially, we can show them how to be creative and find the positive in it. There is some positive in it, but you got to help them and guide them because their peers and all these advertisements and things there's so much distraction. We have to be able to impart the wisdom and the guidance at this
Yeah.
stage before the influence is out there out of our control. So he also says, give thanks for both of your insights. Thank you, sister. And thank all of you for joining us tonight. Please check out the website. And if you're going to be in the Georgia area, it starts tomorrow, right? This reunion.
It does. The,
Okay.
the gala is tomorrow night.
So I do have some friends, some people who are watching from Atlanta. My sister lives there, her son. I got lots of people in Atlanta. Brother Kwame is in Georgia, so maybe Brother Kwame can visit if it's not too far. I don't know. Brother Kwame's outside of Atlanta, but maybe he can visit. Brother Kwame, you got the information in case you're interested. Check out the website. So
Be
thank
good
you.
to see Baba Kwame. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Oh, so you do know Kwame?
Absolutely.
Yeah, who doesn't know him?
Right?
I tell you, he's been all around and everywhere, but he stays in nature. He stays in
Yeah.
That's my inspiration. Learn to read nature's pages. Absolutely. Go out there and turn some tree leaves and branches and walk in the grass barefoot, of course,
Oh,
right?
yes.
You're
Yes. Yes.
doing grounding, right? Or barefoot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of our evolution. Take your shoes off and
Truly.
and connect with Mother Earth. Thank you, Brother Kwame, and all of you for joining us tonight.
Mm.
And I'm going to be praying that you have a. I wish I could be. I'll be there in spirit. I'll be there.
Yes, yes.
So it's been a real pleasure to meet you and talk with you. And maybe we'll meet in Chicago. Who knows?
All
And
right, maybe so. Thank you so much for inviting me to come on and share with your listeners. It's been a pleasure, and I
yeah,
do look forward to meeting you sometime soon.
probably in Georgia more than Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago is like when the war is over, maybe.
right.
Uh, I don't know if
Exactly.
this person wanted to talk or not. No, they didn't want to say anything. Okay, so have a beautiful evening, beautiful life. Ashe, ashe. And to all my yogi friends out there, namaste.
I
Sat
say,
nam. Ashe, ashe to all my brothers and
I say,
sisters.
I say, I say.
And
Peace and
shalom.
blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you.